The 16th of July 1945. This was the day when the weapon that destroyed humanity, the atomic bomb, was being tested for the first time. For the first time in human history, a weapon had entered the battlefield that was going to change the world forever. The physicist who made this atomic bomb was J. Robert Oppenheimer, and he had no idea that the weapon he had made could be so terrifying. When he saw its destruction with his own eyes, he said these historic words. Why and how did this atomic bomb put Oppenheimer on the brink of destruction? Why did the United States humiliate and disgrace the person whose hard work had won World War II? Remembered as the father of atomic bombs in history. He was born in 1904, and at the age of only 18, he dreamed of becoming a chemist and went to Harvard. As soon as he got admission, he could not join classes for a whole year due to an illness. But still, he completed his 4-year degree in just 3 years. Along with becoming a chemist, he also had a lot of interest in physics. After graduating from Harvard, he went to Göttingen University in Germany for research on theoretical physics and completed his PhD. At the age of only 23. His nature was that he did not get along with anyone. He just paid more attention to his research. He came back to the United States and started his research again. So far, he had nothing to do with atomic bombs. But then Hitler started ruling Europe, and he gave a few German scientists the task of making the most powerful weapon in the world. Now here is the entry of Albert Einstein. Yes, Einstein sensed this threat from Hitler and wrote a letter to American President Roosevelt that we should also make such a weapon, otherwise Hitler can overpower us tomorrow. After reading Einstein's letter, the American president took immediate action and ordered the US military to start a research project on atomic bombs. Today, the world knows this famous project as the Manhattan Project. It is believed that an atomic bomb may never be made if Albert Einstein did not write this letter to the American president. Well, it should have been that the US Army chose Einstein for the Manhattan Project because he wrote this letter to the American president. But that did not happen. Albert Einstein's background was from Germany, and the US Army suspected that Einstein was playing a trick on them. For this reason, the leadership of the Manhattan Project was handed over to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was very opposed to Einstein's views, and he also wanted America to make an atomic bomb. For this secret project, a whole city was built in New Mexico called Los Alamos. The US government started spending a lot of money on the project. In the period of 1945, a total of $2 billion was spent on this project. This was going to be the most important and most secret project in American history. But it was very challenging for the US military to handle this secret. A total of 130,000 workers worked on the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos. These people were selected after a lot of investigation so that no news about the project could be known to the outside world. These included scientists, technicians, and researchers, as well as lower staff. Everyone was given these directions that they should not tell anyone about the project, not even their families. No one here knew each other by real name. Everyone was given a fake name, and the rule of the project site was that if someone's real name was leaked, he would be punished. Letters used to come here, but at a fake address. That address was P.O. Box 1663, New Mexico. Even the city name was not mentioned in the official letters. For the censorship of the letters, the censor department used to open all the letters first and then send them forward. Similarly, the letters sent from here were also read first. There was strict security to enter the project site. Workers could neither enter without an entry pass nor leave without an exit pass. Even the birth certificate of the children born in Los Alamos did not have a city name, but only P.O. Box 1663. All this was being done so that no small information related to the atomic bomb could be leaked. Oppenheimer had already done research on nuclear fission before Project Manhattan. This is a reaction in which atoms can be split to generate more energy than the limit. The heaviest element found in nature is uranium. Uranium has 92 protons and 146 neutrons in one atom. If you add them together, you get the total atomic mass of uranium, which is 238. Now, after many experiments and research, scientists have come to the conclusion that if uranium-238 is passed through a special process, uranium-235 comes out of it. And this is an extremely unstable element. That is, if a neutron is collided with this new uranium-235, then uranium splits and generates an unbelievable amount of energy. As soon as it splits, new neutrons are released, which are found in other uranium-235 atoms, and this reaction repeats again and again. This entire chain reaction is completed in just a few microseconds, and we get to see the sequence of all the reactions in the form of a powerful explosion and energy release. If a nuclear bomb is compared to a normal TNT bomb, it will be like mixing an elephant with an ant. Just imagine that a 1 kilogram atomic bomb is equivalent to a 3,500 kilograms TNT bomb. That is, if a little boy bomb, which had scattered the entire Nagasaki, had to be as destructive as a TNT bomb, America would have had to drop a 1.5 crore kilogram TNT bomb. It is so heavy that even today, no ship will be able to lift it. The biggest disadvantage of using uranium in an atomic bomb was that uranium is a natural element, and obviously, it can only be mined in a limited quantity. Researchers created a new element of uranium collision, which was neither natural nor more unstable than uranium-235. This element was plutonium-239. America was in a hurry to complete the Manhattan Project, because on the one hand, World War II was going on, and on the other hand, America was also in danger that Germany might prepare this bomb before it. Finally, on July 16, 1945, the world's first atomic bomb was ready, and now it was time to test it. When it was detonated, the whole world was terrified to see its intensity. Oppenheimer and other scientists who were part of this project were also terrified of this weapon. It was the first weapon to endanger human civilization that had now fallen into the hands of humans. Without knowing what impact it could have on humanity, the United States used it in the cities of Japan, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki next month. More than 250,000 people lost their lives in both of these attacks. 6 days later, Japan put a weapon in front of the United States, and this is where World War II ended. Now here you must be thinking that America would have been very happy with Oppenheimer's achievements and would have given him the Nobel Prize, but that was not the case. Oppenheimer expressed great regret in the beginning, because his creation had killed millions of people. This incident had completely broken him from the inside, and he began to separate himself from the world. If he wanted, America's power could have shifted elsewhere in minutes. Because of this, Oppenheimer proved to be a very delicate asset of the United States, and various American agencies began to keep an eye on Oppenheimer. But then what happened was what was feared. In 1949, America's biggest enemy, the Soviet Union, suddenly detonated atomic bombs and killed the world. Technology had leaked, but America did not know where it came from. Everyone's suspicion was on Oppenheimer, because his girlfriend was also a member of the Communist Party, and his wife had also been a part of the Communist Party before. America's Communist Party had a very close relationship with the Soviet Union, but Oppenheimer himself had no interest in politics. The American president made a deal between Oppenheimer and state secrets, now gave the order to put a whale. An inquiry was held, in which Oppenheimer was accused of being an agent of the Soviets. He insisted on his statement that he had no link with communism and the Soviets. No one had any evidence, but the decision came against him. Those who once held the status of powerful scientists were humiliated in Minto, and all their security clearance and project rights were snatched. The scientific community, along with Albert Einstein, raised their voice against this decision, but it was of no use. For the next few years, Oppenheimer quietly lived his life and stayed away from government projects. Then, about 7 years later, in 1961, when John F. Kennedy became the American president, he offered Oppenheimer to create a new free and fair tribunal, with which his security clearance could be restored. But this time, Oppenheimer refused. John F. Kennedy knew that he was innocent, so he gave Oppenheimer the biggest scientific award in America. But it was too late. Oppenheimer was diagnosed with cancer and died in 1966. His ashes were dumped on a beach in the US Virgin Islands, which is now known as Oppenheimer Beach.